I found this to be a really good line of questioning here from Elizabeth Warren on Pete Hegseth. Hegseth is extremely unqualified for the position that he is up for in terms of the nomination process. He was working at a Koch brothers funded nonprofit in an effort to privatize the VA healthcare system, which is pretty bad. He also bankrupted it, and then there were allegations of certain levels of misconduct in that stop. And then he was a Fox News contributor where there were multiple allegations of his drinking in the morning, showing up to work drunk. There was a rape accusation against him. I mean, I could go on and on.
I would always emphasize putting a guy in charge of the Pentagon who gets drunk and says, kill all Muslims is a huge problem. Yeah,
and it's just a laundry list. It makes him susceptible to blackmail, and I think maybe that's what Donald Trump likes about him. But it's also, I would say, a national security threat. I mean, not to be a blob person, but if you're going to be concerned about anything, blackmailing our Secretary of Defense with compromising information should be at the top of the list. But this interaction with Warren just was revealing, because Hegseth, he may not even want to be in this role for that long, because this is what he really wants out of this position.
Now, Mr. Hegseth, you have written that after they retire, generals should be banned from working for the defense industry for 10 years. You and I agree on the corrosive effects of the revolving door between the Pentagon and defense contractors. It's something I would have liked to talk with you about if you'd come and been willing to visit with me. But the question I have for you on this is, will you put your money where your mouth is and agree that when you leave this job, you will not work for the defense industry for 10 years?
Senator, it's not even a question I've thought about, because it's not
about it right now.
It's not one. My motivation for this job.
I understand
has never
that. I
been
just
about
need
what
a
could
yes or no
conceivably
here.
come next.
Time is short. I just need a yes or no.
I would consult with the president about what the policy should be
In
at the Defense
other
Department.
words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals. So you're saying sauce for the goose, but certainly not sauce for the gander?
I would want to see what the policy of the president
I'll
is.
bet you would.
Thank you, Senator Warren.
What a little shit drunk.
Yeah.
Got him.
That smirk he had, because this is the reality of it. I think it was pointed out by one of the other senators on the Democratic side doing this questioning, that there was a lot of turnover. There were 5 secretaries of defense under Donald Trump in his first 4-year term. Hegseth is just banking on, let me get through this. Let me get through this process, because I'll probably be fired by the guy, but he's giving me the gift of potentially having the highest position, one of the highest positions in our government. So Lockheed Martin can go hire me. So I don't know, some other hawkish firm can go hire me. It'll be a real step up from when I was managing this teeny tiny nonprofit that the Koch brothers were funding back in the day that I couldn't even put a handle on. I'll get to be on some board. I'll get paid millions of dollars to talk about how we need to bomb the hell out of this part of Western Africa or something like that. Or, hey, continue the occupation of the Palestinian people. That's what his aim is. And so when he says, I'm not a general, I wonder how people in the military react to that, because you know, for all of the Donald Trump's desires to get a Hegseth in like this, it's pretty disrespectful. And it also is just like, we get that Hegseth for Trump is this kind of fascist ideal of someone that looks like, you know, the strong fighting force that he envisions of white blonde men and chiseled jaws, and like Trump makes these decisions based on central casting. And when he's talking about DEI in the military and all of their just bizarre cultural fixations. But when it's actually about doing the job of running the Defense Department that has millions of people under its umbrella, how can you trust a guy like this, who's basically smirking at the idea that he would hold himself to the standard that he's holding generals to? He's like, I don't really give a crap about that.
Do you think the average American who nominally supports, say, hey, generals shouldn't be able to go through the revolving door into the defense industry, thinks that, oh, I agree with that, but I don't really care if the leader of the Pentagon does? Like, what a slimy, like, avoidance of the actual issue.
And you know what the incentive is then, is the reason that like are trying to put that in place in terms of that 10-year moratorium is that you would be, Hegseth, and he's saying that he would be, motivated to audition for your next employer, aka approve more weapons shipments, cut corners for some defense company that you're trying to appease.
Make sure investment keeps going to boondoggles.
Right, like Boeing, hey, I'll approve this. You want to bomb over here? We'll work together. That's the kind of thing that he's openly saying he's okay with. And it's in keeping with the entire Trump administration, which is just bringing Elon and the other oligarchs into the fold. We'll loot the government and then get rich on the way out. And that's like the central premise of this administration that we're about to be under for the next 4 years.
That's all very cynical. This is what draining the swamp looks like. First, you got to fill the swamp up. First, you got to fill the swamp up until it's like that ecosystem is just bursting with that bacteria and like marshland creatures, and then you drain it. Then you get rid of everybody. Although, I mean, I honestly don't think obviously that, there shouldn't be a revolving door between the government and industry of any kind, whether it's banking, defense, et cetera, et cetera. Although I feel like Hegseth is on the straight path to like Rumble correspondent on like one of those like Fox News off-brand, because he just doesn't seem like a good person to work with, right? So like he might do 6 months in the Trump administration in some role, right? Maybe if he doesn't get this one, some other role, and try to pivot into a career at some other place. But he's like a lush who like allegedly embezzles money to like fund his drinking and like womanizing.
But Brandon, like the point is not that he would be doing a good job when he's appointed to something after being, say, head of the Defense Department for 6 months. It would be that even if he does a bad job, it's the reward on the other end and as long as you deliver for us when you're in office, then we give you a board seat that pays you $4 million or something like that, where you don't have to do anything.
That's true.
It's also weird that like these guys have no problem just like being dirty and lying and all that. Like, why not just lie? Like, why not just say, give her what she wants to hear and then just go do it anyway? Like, this is who these guys are. Why would he not lie here?
So
like,
yeah,
so bizarre.
If Trump wants to do that, it would have completely like neutralized the question. But he wants that money,
right?
He
and he
box himself in.
And also,
if he said that, it might close any opportunities from people reaching out to him. Oh, don't reach out to him. We might not. It's pointless. Can't close those opportunities. You're right, Matt. I wasn't thinking. I'm not ahead of the game like Pete Hegseth is.
But his resent to the question won over the day, and that is really like a theme. I mean, like, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm flexing on you.
Like, Pete Hegseth is a man of integrity. He only lies to his wife. He only lies to his
wives and mistress and
wives and mistresses. Well, he doesn't lie to his mistresses until they're his wives. So, like, you can't really count that.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.